Hey everyone, happy Monday. I've been quiet the last couple of days just because my sister's been in town, and it's been a really great reminding to myself. Hey there. And I came live a couple days ago talking about family expectations, the expectations that our families have of us and how they impact our lives, whether that's for the good or the not so great. I gave some tips on how to work through them, overcome them, not see them as obstacles, etc. Hey, lady! And today I wanted to talk about the other side of family expectations. So the expectations we have of our families in regards to ourselves. So, like I said, my sister's in town. Hey, lady. My sister's in town. It's been a really good reminder to me to change my expectations. So, I'm a very different person today than I was, let's say, 4 years ago. My sister and I are very different. We've had very different lives, very different experiences with things. And even though we talk frequently, I have this expectation in my head that she will act a certain way, say certain things, be a certain version of herself that I see. Hey, lady, that I see. And that's really unfair to both of us. Just like our family expectations of us can be harmful or not supportive, the expectations we have of our family can also be harmful or unsupportive. So, for instance, we're going to go with this idea that my sister's in town. We haven't spent much time together as adults. Like, she lives on the other side of the country than me. And we're coming out of a global pandemic. We have different views on things as far as like where we're comfortable being outside with or without masks, And it's just, I want to go and do a lot of stuff and be active and hike and spend the whole day in the city, and she doesn't. And my expectation is that we're going to go, because that's what I do on vacation. I go. I see new things. I go about my business. And when she didn't want to spend the whole day in the city, I got really pissed off and was really annoyed because I was like, but this is how we're going to spend time together, and this is what we're going to do to be happy together. And it's that expectation that wasn't communicated, that wasn't shared, that I just got mad about. And it's not fair to her. I'm pissed off at something and she has no idea why. And it's unfair to me as well because I'm mad at something that honestly is just not worth being mad at because I didn't communicate it. So it's really easy for us, especially if we've changed dramatically from when we're younger or just a different point in our lives, to still have expectations of our families that just aren't realistic. So I'm going to go for a personal example again. I'm, again, very different than I was growing up, very different viewpoints, just a totally different person, more spiritual, less religious, things like that, more liberal, less conservative, yada, yada. So when I go home and spend time with certain family members, my expectation is that we're either going to be able to have really good conversations about the economy or the political landscape or whatever it is, and that they've outgrown their old beliefs, and that they've outgrown their old racisms, sexisms, whatever bigotry that's there. And to have that expectation is unfair to them because I've never voiced it. I've talked about things with them, but I've not been like, hey, relative A, you really need to let this go. I've told them the benefits of it, or, we've had the conversations, But to continuously hold them to this expectation that they're going to be a different person, a different version of themselves, isn't fair, because it's not going to happen. They're not putting the work in. They're not doing whatever it is to happen. So they're continuously falling short of my expectation of them. So I'm continuously upset, frustrated, angry, etc. So just like the expectations that our families can have for us of a certain career, certain way to parent, certain places to travel, the expectations that we have for our families of who they are, what their viewpoints are, what their activities are, how they support us, can be out of alignment with who they are. And it's really, really fucking frustrating, especially with your family. If we use a different example, there may be family members out there who don't support you going out on your own to open a business, don't support you having a baby without a partner because they don't understand it, or they're afraid for you, or list out the 50,000 different reasons. And that's fine. They don't have to, right? Their job is not to continuously support us. Their job is to be them and live in their aligned life. Our job is to live in our aligned life. So it's keeping that in mind as we think, talk, spend time with our family members, that we also have to be cognizant of our own expectations of them, that we have to be aware of what the expectations are that we have in our minds and that we're communicating. Going back to the example with my sister, I should have communicated my expectations for this vacation so that we were on the same page, so that we were aligned with that. Sometimes there are going to be really simple things like, hey, husband, I expect you to put your dirty clothes in the hamper and not on the floor next to it. Pretty simple example, right? There can also be examples like, let's say a relative really wants you to pop out 7 kids and you are not about that. That's a different conversation. Or my expectation is that, my uncle is going to share every Instagram post that I make. That's never going to happen. The man doesn't even know what social media is. But it's those things, whether it's super small or really large, that we have to be aware of what expectations we have for our family members and where they came from. Why do I have the expectation that my sister is going to vacation the same way I vacation? Because I want it to be that way? Because it's easy, it's convenient, that's the best way for us to vacation together? Look into where those expectations you have of your family members come from. Are they expectations that are reciprocal? Are they expectations that you've come up with from media, movies, magazines, books, etc.? And then really dig into whether those are expectations that you want, whether they are expectations that align with you and how you want your relationships to be. Because you may have varying expectations for the same people in your family. I expect my husband to pick up after himself. If I had human children, because I have fur babies, I wouldn't expect my 6-month-old kid to pick up after themselves, right? Your expectations can change. So it's just a matter of knowing what they are, where they came from, and then making sure that they work for the life that you want and the relationship that you want with that person. And if they don't, change them. Figure out what is going to best serve all of the parties involved and communicate that. The most important part is communicating those expectations with your family members so that everyone is on the same page, so you can make sure that those expectations are aligning with the life you want, the relationship you want, and the other person. Because our family relationships go both ways, just like family expectations go both ways, which can be really frustrating, but also incredibly empowering. Because when the other person is annoying us, it's actually not them doing anything, right? We're getting annoyed by something that they're doing. We're allowing it to annoy us. We're allowing it to yada, yada, yada. So when you take a look at family expectations, yes, by all means, go back to my first video. Think about how your family expectations are impacting you. But also think about the expectations that you hold for your family members and whether they are impacting you and your relationships in a positive way or in a not so positive way. That is your Sunday wisdom for today. I hope it helps. Feel free to comment live or on the replay if you have any questions or any comments, anything you want to talk about, or feel free to shoot me a DM. Otherwise, I will see you guys later.